What's good, TMG fam? It's your boy L, and I'm back with another reaction. Now, brace yourselves. You ever heard people talk about celebrities and actors and different people like that and say, hold on, bro, pump your brakes. You may not want to meet your favorite actor or celebrity because when you meet them, they might be totally different than what you expected. Totally different. You know what I mean? They may be like just weird or disrespectful or just, you know, because you have this idea in your mind of what you think this person is like, and you may meet them and find out they're totally the opposite. It happens. It happens, man. That's why I don't be wanting to meet a lot of the people that I look up to and like, or you know what I mean, the artists and celebrities that I may be fond of. I don't want to meet them. I don't want to meet them because I don't want to ruin it and you be something completely different than I had in my mind. So we're about to check out the top 20 most difficult actors to work with. So you may be an aspiring actor or actress, you know, and one of these people on this list may be somebody you want to work with. They're difficult, though. Here we go.
There's no shortage of workplace drama in Hollywood. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 actors who were most difficult to work with. For this list, we're looking at those actors who, fairly or unfairly, have had a reputation for complaining, hostility towards other cast members, or just generally being difficult to work with for any number of reasons. Again, we're not saying all these reputations are justified, but the Hollywood rumor mill has churned out some doozies about these folks. Number 20, Steven Seagal.
What? Steven Seagal, the guy that breaks your bones with a mere touch of your bone? He's difficult to work with?
He's looking for you, but I'm gonna have to kill you first.
Seagal's appearances on the big screen are becoming
Not the guy that sound like he whispering all the time. Hey, you gotta do it. I'm gonna kill him.
increasingly rare these days.
Lord knows it's been a long, hard minute since the last time he had a box office hit. That may have something to do with the fact that he's supposedly a nightmare on set. Not only is Seagal cited as being highly critical of others, he's also been known to physically intimidate cast members.
And he Aikido'd me against the brick wall. Pow! Knocked all the air out of me. I was like, what? What?
He purportedly slammed comedian John Leguizamo against a wall simply for laughing at him. Because, you know, comedians aren't allowed to be funny. We'll put it this way. Henry Rollins has stated he'd rather drink latex paint than work with Seagal.
If you thought you could save the world.
Why is he whispering? Why are you whispering, bro? Speak up, I can't hear you.
But nobody would know it, and you might have to give your life in doing it. Would you do it?
Number 19, Charlie Sheen.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there. Now what?
While not in the
I feel like this man, Charlie, the Charlie Sheen documentary, when it come out, I'm gonna be glued to the TV if it ain't already out yet. I'm gonna be glued to it, bro, because it's gonna be crazy.
spotlight recently, Charlie Sheen's personal life has been the subject of controversy for years, including domestic issues with his then fiancée Kelly Preston.
When she lifted my pants off the scale, it fell out of the back jeans pocket and hit the floor and shot a bullet right between her legs.
And his infamous drug addiction.
You borrow my brain for 5 seconds and just be like, dude, can't handle it. Unplug this bastard.
Therefore, it's not too much of a stretch to imagine just how difficult it would be to work with him.
He also tells me Chuck Lorre is a loser and a clown and a whole lot worse than that.
His substance abuse and disparaging comments about Chuck Lorre are apparently what got him fired from his career-rejuvenating role on 2.5 Men. We can't blame him entirely, though.
Hello?
Oh, hey, Alan, come on in.
If he really is a freaking rock star from Mars, they may have different sets of customs over there. Number 18, Thomas Gibson.
All right, everybody right now, what's my worst quality?
The former Criminal Minds actor-director was well known for being a constant source of friction on set. Fellow cast members have claimed Gibson is highly demanding, requiring scheduling to revolve around his agenda.
I love Thomas Gibson. Okay. I actually sent him a text when I found out what happened. Did he respond? No, he did not.
Worse, however, is his temper. Gibson was fired from Criminal Minds in August 2016 after the final straw in a string of controversial incidents. In 2010, he reportedly shoved an assistant director during a shoot. In 2013,
What is that? What does that scream to y'all? Ego. Ego, man. That's what this screams to me. Ego. A lot of these people, they get so full of themselves, man. They get hoisted up here on this pedestal, and the ego just grows and grows and grows, man, until they can't control it.
He picked up a DUI, something producers were not pleased about. Then in 2016, Gibson allegedly kicked writer-producer Virgil Williams.
I wouldn't have kept kicking, but I was afraid you didn't get my plans.
An established pain in the ass, Criminal Minds simply decided to let Gibson go.
It's not a request.
Number 17, Shia LaBeouf.
No.
Seriously?
No.
Though he got his start in Hollywood in kids' shows and blockbusters, Shia LaBeouf's growth into an artist and filmmaker surprised many.
After actor Shia LaBeouf turned up wearing a paper bag over his head with the words, "I am not famous anymore."
Over the years, he's made more than a few controversial remarks, engaged in what some would call publicity stunts, and according to some, he can also transform into a bit of a jerk.
Okay, here's the dream. Your B minus, dream gone.
Shia is notorious for his temper and belligerent attitude, even...
I started liking Shia LaBeouf, man. He did good in the movies that I saw him in. Then I found out he could rap. I was like, okay. Hey, see, this is why I don't be wanting to meet people that I admire.
leaving the Broadway production of Orphans he was slated to star in due to constant bickering and fights with his co-stars, especially Alec Baldwin.
Now, Baldwin just recently responded via the New York Times, stating he was very disappointed, and regarding what people feel about the events that happened, you expect communications to be private because everyone wants this process to be as collegial as possible.
According to some, however, LaBeouf was just straight up fired.
No sacrifice. No victory.
Number 16, William Shatner.
All right, you mutinous, disloyal, computerized half-breed. We'll see about you deserting my ship.
Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock may have overcome their differences and become friends in the world of Star Trek, but that wasn't the case for the real-life relationship between actors William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy. Shatner was reportedly the jealous type, upset at the amount of fan mail Nimoy received, and insecure over his importance to the show. Shatner apparently stole dialogue from Nimoy and other actors to elevate his own significance. And yet Nimoy was Shatner's best man at his fourth wedding.
There is a thing that happens to both.
Are you serious? Jealousy is another one. Jealousy.
At this time.
Shatner also apparently feuded with other actors on the series, though, like Nichelle Nichols and George Takei. Evidently obsessed with his own status, Shatner reportedly threw fits to make sure he was the center of attention and in control.
That was a very unusual question. Did you do research on that?
This is one of our viewers, one of your fans. Don't mock us.
You're mocking our viewers.
Number 15, Edward Norton. Edward Norton is one of the finest actors in the industry, so it comes as no surprise that he takes his craft extremely seriously.
Quit your crying. I can't understand a goddamn word you're saying. You little sissy, you make me sick.
We repeat, extremely seriously. In fact, Norton has a reputation for shadow directing.
If you come near Danny again.
He sat in on the editing for American History X because he didn't trust Tony Kaye, and often clashed with the studio during The Incredible Hulk over creative differences.
Non mi deixo conforme. Non van quando io conforme.
While the people behind the film said the dispute was blown out of proportion in the media and a promo tour was planned for the movie, Norton didn't do any promotion following its release. So, yes.
I'm starting to hear that a lot in Hollywood. When people are not pleased, they just try to ditch the promo for the movie and different things like that, man. Is that like a thing now? That's your way to rebel against the system? Like, isn't that ultimately hurting yourself as well, though? I never understood it.
By all accounts, he is that one employee who tells everyone else how to do his or her jobs.
You look at me when I'm talking to you.
Number 14, Klaus Kinski.
Listen, the children of the night make their music.
Even the most
Never heard of him.
difficult of actors tends to make a few friends in the industry. And even if they don't, sometimes you can put up with the worst of the worst if they're simply that damn talented. And then sometimes you have people like Klaus Kinski, who was reportedly so difficult that nobody gave him a second chance. Though not a household name, the German actor appeared in over 100 films throughout his long career. Despite that extensive list, Kinski only ever worked with one director on multiple occasions. All the others refused to deal with him again. To put it bluntly, Kinski has been described as insane, prone to frequent blow-ups. They're really
Sound like to me too. A lot of people are getting, you act up and they blackballing you. That's basically what it boils down to.
is no comparison to his madness.
Ich spiele es jetzt so, ich will aus! Ja, aber wir müssen natürlich wissen... Endlich aufhören, würde ihr Hausfrauenanweisungen zu geben!
Number 13, Jennifer Lopez.
My reputation apparently is pretty solid, so...
While 2019's Hustlers was very well received, Lopez's earlier work didn't do wonders for her reputation.
It's turkey time.
Huh? Although she's known as a very hard worker, Jenny from the Block has been called out in the past for so-called diva behavior.
You did not just poke me! Don't you touch me, you two-bit tramp! Oh.
She's been said to often make ridiculous demands, like numerous 5-star hotel rooms to stay in and her own private plane so she can travel in true diva style. All on someone else's dime, of course.
She was supposed to be going to India to perform, but she asked for a private plane. She also asked for an exorbitant amount, that's what they're saying, of hotel rooms for her huge entourage.
And the kicker? She refuses to perform if her demands are not met. We guess it's too bad her demands were met in the case of Heigl. Number 12, Terry Hatcher.
I think you should spend some time with a decent role model, don't you?
It seems Terry Hatcher's behavior fit right in with Susan Myers. Hatcher, most well known for her role as the desperate housewife, didn't have to change much of what's allegedly her personal character to fit into the drama-filled world.
Oh my God, we are so not having this conversation.
Reports indicate that Hatcher was extremely cold to her.
Now, J-Lo and Hatcher, I still want to meet them. They're not gonna, they can't do anything to deter, they can't do anything wrong in my eyes. No.
Co-stars on set, making even the easiest scenes uncomfortable to shoot. As an indicator of how poorly she meshed with her housewife's family, Hatcher was left out of an end-of-series gift from the ladies to the crew. The feud between Hatcher and the women was well known to all involved with the show, so her snub came as a surprise to no one.
You know you've hit middle age when your memories become more important to you than your dreams.
Number 11, Katherine Heigl.
Yeah, you think that's funny?
Yeah, I do.
Katherine Heigl clearly hasn't heard the expression, "don't bite the hand that feeds you," as that is exactly what she seems to do on a regular basis.
It's just a theory.
Oh, I forgot about Knocked Up, that movie. Man, I gotta go back and watch that. Oh, they taking me back with some of these movies.
After breaking into the mainstream with Knocked Up, Heigl went on record saying that she thought the movie was, quote, a little sexist, and had a hard time enjoying it.
She was complaining about how the movie depicted women in a very negative way and that she didn't like it, and she was a little ashamed of even starring in that movie.
The problem with that is that this was after she had already filmed the movie and received her paycheck. The real irony here is that her treatment after speaking out may have been the result of sexism, and both Seth Rogen and Judd Apatow later made peace with the star. But then, of course, she wasn't a fan of Grey's Anatomy's writing either, and she supposedly annoyed co-workers on a daily basis due to wardrobe grievances and constant script complaints. Number 10, Lea Michele. Don't sit there and assume the cast of Glee reflected its show's name when the cameras were not rolling. Rather, Lea Michele, who played one of the singing stars, Rachel Berry, apparently took on the cutthroat mentality of a real high school diva when it came to her behavior on set.
Don't use the fact that Jesse and I once had feelings for each other as an excuse for my inevitable win.
According to reports, Michele was rude to all involved with production, making the cast and crew stand around and wait extensively until she was ready to begin shooting. Crew members also claim Michele refused to speak to junior members of the Glee staff. On top of that, in 2020, Glee co-star Samantha Ware said Michele made her first television gig, quote, living hell. and described repeated instances of traumatic microaggressions towards the black actress. Number 9, Christian Bale.
Am I gonna walk?
Now, for some reason, this one makes sense to me. Out of all of them, this one here makes sense to me.
Come around and rip your fucking lights down?
Who doesn't remember Bale's eye-opening audio recording that came out publicly in 2009? The grainy 2008 recording exposed an incident on the set of Terminator Salvation, where Bale absolutely blew up at the film's director of photography, Shane Hurlbut, for walking into his line of vision during a scene.
No, don't just be sorry. Think!
The recording is incredibly disturbing to hear, as Bale unleashes a vicious and unwarranted tirade on Hurlbut. But it's not just his volatile temper that makes Bale so hard to work with. He's a method actor, which means he fully invests himself in his characters. So when you work with Bale, you don't just get his craziness, you get the craziness of his characters too.
Did you know I'm utterly insane?
Number 8, Bruce Willis.
You ready?
Just take a look at the stoic tough guy that is Bruce Willis.
Do you even listen to yourself sometimes?
Does that seem like a fun guy to be around?
You're not good. Let's take him for a drag.
According to Kevin Smith, who directed him in Cop Out, he is actually a nightmare to work with.
I've never seen that movie.
He called his experience working with Willis, quote, soul-crushing. And many other directors have complained about Willis's unwarranted and misguided input regarding their directing style.
I want to see the expression on your face. You want to see the expression on my face? The expression you're going to see on my face is...
Although he was working on Cop Out, and that would probably put anyone in a bad mood.
You should know better.
Number 7, Sean Penn.
Sean Penn, you rude. Dumb, rude, and full of farts. You stanky Sean, real-time stanker.
When it came out in early 2016 that infamous Mexican drug lord El Chapo met and interviewed with actor Sean Penn, the most reasonable question asked by the public was, why? What qualifications does Penn have?
Forget about blame. We're going to put all our focus, all our energy, all our billions of dollars on the bad guy.
Well, if he were to respond to that question, we probably wouldn't be able to publish it due to explicit language and its overall awful message. Though known as a great actor, he is also famous for allegedly being incredibly rude and an overall jerk.
Well, I'm not going to do that.
And although they are indeed serious, we won't even discuss the allegations of domestic abuse lobbied against him. And instead, we're just going to focus on his very real identity as a nightmare to work with.
My own little daughter, and I can't even cry for her.
Allegedly hostile and intimidating. He's not someone you want to share the screen with.
Number 6, Mike Myers.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Pick your job.
Oh, that hurt. How many of y'all is that one hurting right now? That one kind of hit you right there.
Up off the floor. We weren't expecting it either, but apparently this funny man is not nearly as fun as his characters.
That is one crazy get-up you got there, fella.
Hey, thank you.
The Austin Power star has been constantly called, quote, moody and temperamental, and many complain about the degree of control Mike Myers feels he should be able to exhibit over the cast and crew.
It's a very groovy time.
Many executives in the industry have simply refused to work with him, and rumor has it he even had a crew member fired for looking him in the eyes on a particularly bad day.
Well, that's where I see things just a little differently. Contractor, no. I will not bow to any sponsor.
Number 5, Val Kilmer.
It's the car, right? Chicks love the car.
When you've had a career as long and as all-encompassing as Val Kilmer, there's a chance you've rubbed some people the wrong way.
Jerry.
Many of Kilmer's ex-girlfriends have spoken of his eccentric behavior. This sentiment was further mirrored by Joel Schumacher, who directed Kilmer in Batman Forever and called Kilmer's behavior towards a crew member, quote, rude, childish, and inappropriate.
Are you yesterday's news, Bruce?
Kilmer supposedly fought with camera operators and the wardrobe department on set. Similar comments were made by Richard Stanley, a director who worked on the island of Dr. Moreau, who claimed that, quote, Val would arrive and an argument would happen.
Until one terrible morning you wake up and realize...
You know what I think? I think they be using that to get in the character, man. They start stuff to kind of get their juices flowing and get them prepared for the role. I think that's what it be. Or they're showing up already in character.
That revenge has become your whole life. And you won't know why.
You can't understand.
Number 4, Lindsay Lohan.
You're like really pretty.
Thank you.
So you agree?
What?
You think you're really pretty?
Oh, I don't know.
Everyone's favorite adorable actress from Mean Girls struggled with substance abuse and mental health for some time, but has fortunately turned things around since those days.
Great, I'm being carjacked by my own car.
Back then, her partying and lavish lifestyle apparently often resulted in Lilo being late for work and/or too hungover to concentrate. On top of that, she reportedly racked up a huge hotel bill and made unreasonable demands to directors.
Do you hear that?
It's nothing.
The Canyon's director Paul Schrader, for one, called her attitude, quote, unspeakable, and criticized the actress, who was also a producer and part owner on the project, for failing to promote their film when it premiered at the Venice Film Festival.
There go another incident, somebody failing to promote.
I don't, what happened? I don't understand. What do you mean something happened?
Number 3, Chevy Chase.
And I want to look him straight in the eye, and I want to tell him what a cheap, lying, no good, rotten...
Who hasn't Chevy Chase pissed off? Kindly regarded as perhaps the biggest grump in Hollywood, Chase has been described as an indefensible, cruelly vicious put-down artist.
Put yourself down now.
As early as his SNL days, Chase was burning bridges with the likes of John Belushi, Bill Murray, and the writers. He's talked serious smack about most big names in the industry. Some notables include Will Ferrell, Howard Stern, Kevin Smith, and Bill Maher. Most recently, Chase destroyed the one good thing he had going with the instant cult classic show Community.
Chevy, how you feeling about the Dan Harmon stuff?
The what?
Dan Harmon.
Who's that?
He heavily criticized the series and showrunner while he was still a cast member, and was known to have extremely offensive on-set tirades. We can't imagine Chase has many friends left.
Every man should be punched in the face. It's a rite of passage.
Number 2, Joan Crawford.
Look down on me because I work for a living, don't you?
While some actors are blatantly difficult to work with, there are others who are much more subtle, and perhaps no one played that role better than Joan Crawford. An undeniably beautiful woman, Crawford gained a reputation throughout Hollywood for using her body to control others. A master manipulator, Crawford sparked problems with cast members by reportedly sleeping around with fellow actors and directors. In arguably the most notorious feud in Hollywood history, Crawford developed an intense hatred for Bette Davis, who reciprocated the loathsome sentiment.
You don't know what you're saying. Blanche, you aren't ever gonna sell this house.
Keeping a character, the beef developed after Crawford stole Betty's love, Franchot tone. It's an unwritten rule to keep your hands away from what's not yours, but Crawford never played by the rules.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some dishonorable mentions. January Jones.
You can stop trying to read my mind, sugar.
Dustin Hoffman.
I mean, no one makes them up. They seem to make themselves up.
Russell Crowe.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the North, general of the Felix Legions, loyal servant to the true emperor.
Faye Dunaway.
I don't like the way this script of ours is turning out. It's turning into a seedy little drama.
Jared Leto.
There is something you could do for me, Doctor.
Anything, yeah.
I need a machine gun.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I didn't expect myself to know a lot of the people on this list.
Now that's how I'm gonna clear the table.
You know that one employee who just doesn't give a crap? Always does whatever he wants and never listens to the boss?
Yep.
In Hollywood, that man was Marlon Brando.
Those kind of words have been on your tongue, and your sister's tongue is too much around here. What do you think you are, a pair of queens?
Brando was notorious for ignoring direction, and he wouldn't even memorize his lines, preferring instead to just wing it during filming, write cue cards to leave somewhere off camera, or wear an earpiece.
This is the most outrageous.
What the Yo, I don't want nobody on my set that's just gonna be that much of a pain, fam. Seriously?
Spectacle I have ever witnessed.
He was also deeply methodical about his acting, which greatly alienated many people when the cameras were not rolling.
Horror and moral terror are your friends. If they are not, then they are enemies to be feared.
It must have worked though, because Brando is known today as one of the greatest actors ever.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Do you agree with our picks?
Like I said, man, this was pleasantly surprising. I didn't expect to know that many people on the list. I thought I was going to go into it, but I was surprised by a lot of names on this list, to be honest with you, man. Fam. And just to hear some of the things that these people do, bro. It's insane. Insane. And they figure since they're the lead actress or actor, or, you know, they got the leading role, and they got it in their mind, this picture ain't gonna go nowhere if I'm not in it. It's not gonna do anything. So that just adds on to the layers of the ego, man. And it's crazy. But y'all get at me in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think, man. Do you still want to meet your favorite actor or actress? Let me know. It's your boy L to the next reaction. I'm out. Peace. Y'all stay solid. Hey.